Hello, welcome to today's video, which is going to be the next installment in the revisiting series. Today, we're going to revisit Barbara.
Let the show begin.
I gotta be honest, I'm not the most excited I've ever been, let me say that. I don't mean to start the whole thing off with like a bias or a slight to Barbara, it's just that I've never really been in many situations, or even a single situation, where I'm like, wow, I really wish my Barbara was built right now. I rely heavily on other healers, and I understand that. Benny, I get it. I know I need to branch out healing-wise. This is me trying that right now. So I'm going in with an open heart, open mind, open pores. You hate to see the last one, but that is life. And we're gonna give Barbara a fair shot. I'm pulling out all the stops, just like I do with every other revisiting character. We're going level 90, we're going 699 talents, the whole shebang. So we'll try her out and we'll see how it goes. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to join me live on twitch.tv/Meejin, M-E-E-J-I-I-N. You can witness and be a part of absolutely iconic moments like this. What a tasty clip that is. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Okay, so this is actually the first character I've had in the revisiting series that has been level 70. Everyone else I stopped at 80, but with Barb, I used her early game, as I'm sure a lot of us do, and then she just kind of fell out of my rotation. So today's revisiting is going to be different for a few reasons. First of all, I'm going to have to level obviously more because we're starting at 70. Same goes for the talents. The second reason is that normally in the before section, I have kind of a build that I was working with before that was usable. I wouldn't call what I slapped on Barbara usable. So we're probably going to do a little bit of a different before. It's probably just going to be more talent based than it is going to be build based because I don't really have a before build. I stopped using her before I knew what a build was probably. So that's where we're at with Barbara. Let's talk about who the heck she is. What does she do? How does she work? Where can I find her to stalk her and never leave her alone? Just kidding, I'm not creepy Albert. We should be more concerned about that guy, by the way. I'm just saying, light stalking, it's fine. Anyway, Barbara is a Hydro Catalyst character whose main role is as a support in your team, being your healer. I preface this in every character review. It's not to say that you can't do DPS Barbara, because of course you can, but I'm not going to talk about that today because I cannot express to you how little I want to build DPS Barbara. I might brush over it a few times in certain sections, the build, whatever, but I'm not doing that today. That's not what today is about. All right, let's talk talents. Every aspect of Barbara's kit is geared towards healing. She is very, 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 very much built to be a healer. That's what she does, and she does it well. So all her talents are geared towards healing, and they all scale off her max HP. Normal attacks, your standard Catalyst normal attacks, nothing super crazy. You will be utilizing your normal attacks, and particularly your charge attacks, to do some healing for your team. So they're not useless, but they won't be doing much damage, especially on a support build. Just note that with the normal attacks, you'll only be healing with them when your skill is active around you. Speaking on the skill, let the show begin. So Barbara's skill is a little ring that will go around your active character and tick every 5 seconds. The skill lasts 15 seconds and it's on a 30-second cooldown unless you have C2, which reduces the cooldown duration by 15%, which would make the cooldown 27.2 seconds. Like I said, when active, the skill allows your normal attacks to heal your entire party when Barbara's hitting an enemy. It also applies the wet status to your character, which can open you up to things like being frozen or some other reaction from an enemy hitting you and doing more damage. But it also applies wet status to your enemies that come in contact with the ring. All right, let's talk burst. Barbara's burst is kind of like a come in clutch situation for when you need emergency healing. It does one big heal just once for your whole party. One thing to note about the burst is that it does have a pretty high energy cost, sitting at 80, and Barbara is not excellent at regenerating energy. In fact, she's pretty terrible at it. You can't really rely on your burst being ready every rotation, so it's best to just kind of keep it in your back pocket for emergency situations. Some of Barbara's constellations do help with energy regeneration, but at C0, like, you have to rely on other characters, weapons, stuff like that to regenerate energy for your Barbara. Talent priority for support Barbara, skill, burst, and then normal attacks, you could just leave them. Passives! So her A1 passive reduces the stamina consumption of the character within the circle of that skill by 12%. So it's kind of nice, nothing too crazy, but not totally useless. Her A4 passive extends the skill's duration by 1 second every time your active character gets an elemental orb or particle. Maximum extension is 5 seconds. Again, can be kind of nice if you time it right, but nothing super crazy. Her cooking passive talent gives you a 12% chance to obtain double the product when perfectly cooking a dish that has restorative effects. So those are Barbara's talents. Let's talk about constellations. All right, constellations. C1. This is one of the constellations I was talking about that can give Barbara some energy. Barbara regenerates 1 energy every 10 seconds. 1 energy is not a lot, but I guess it's not nothing either, so. C2 decreases the cooldown of her skill by 15%. Again, kind of nice, just a little quality of life thing. C3, talent upgrade on the burst. C4 is the second energy constellation that Barbara gets. As you can see here, every opponent Barbara hits with her charge attack regenerates 1 energy for her. A maximum of 5 energy can be generated in this manner with 1 charge attack. So how that works is Barbara will gain 1 energy for every enemy she hits with a charge attack. So if you happen to have a bundle of 5 enemies and you hit them all with your charge attack, that's going to be 5 energy given back to Barbara. It does help with the energy regeneration, but it is not super life altering. C5, talent upgrade to the skill. Now, Barbara C6, this is where we get maximum juiciness. This is a juicy constellation. Basically, what Barbara does is your character tries to die, Grim Reaper shows up, tries to snatch the living life soul out of your character, and Barbara says, "Not today, Satan," and she shooes him away. And then character's fine, and it's great. No, but seriously, C6 is like a life-saving constellation. It comes in really clutch in situations like Spiral Abyss. Now granted, this can only occur once every 15 minutes, so it's not like you could just restart the Abyss, keep dying, and Barbara's just gonna keep bam, 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 regenerating your characters back to life. But even with its cooldown, this is a very good constellation. Only Barbara and Chi-Chi are capable of doing this for your other characters, so really, really strong, can come in really, really clutch in situations where you don't want to die, I guess. Where was Barb when my dog died? I don't know. So those are Barbara's constellations. All right, let's talk before build. Okay, so since we're gonna do things a little differently today, since I'm gonna put on my after build now, let's talk about options for your Barbara and what you could run. Hello, Editing Meech here, just popping in to make a quick note before we get into the build section. I initially wanted to try EM Barb and went over EM builds for Barb, but then the HP build Barb took up so much of my time that I'm just gonna cut it all out. Just know that EM Barb is possible and quite good. I'm gonna link a video by Sebi Plays in the description that you can watch for more information on it. I'd like to try out EM Barb someday, but for now, I'm just having fun enjoying my HP Barb and trying out the possibilities with that. So, back to the video. Dodoko Tails is actually not a bad option for Barbara, but only for DPS Barbara. And since I'm not running DPS Barbara, and I also don't want to level this thing, I'm not going to use it, but it is actually an option for DPS Barbara. My #1 choice and what I was planning on using was Thrilling Tales of the Dragon Slayers, because your character is going to get that nice attack boost once you switch Barbara off the field. That's a great support weapon in general, and Barbara can get great use out of its HP stat as well, so this is excellent, an excellent choice for her. But it's not the only option. You could also run Prototype Amber. This has, again, an HP main stat, which is good, and Prototype Amber would help with some of Barb's energy issues with its passive, so that's a great option as well. Of course, the other great option is going to be the Everlasting Moonglow, aka the Donut, Kokomi's weapon. That also has HP as a good stat stick, and if you don't have a Kokomi and you happen to get a Donut, then you can throw it on your Barb. That'll work well. If you are thinking about DPS Barbara, your options are going to be a lot more traditional DPS type catalyst weapons. All those crit-based or attack-based weapons, Jodoko Tails like I mentioned earlier, these are all going to be options for your DPS Barb. But I'm sticking with Thrilling Tales for today. Artifacts. 4-piece Maidens is going to be Barbara's best option for a support healing based Barbara, but if you don't have it, you can mix 2-piece like what I'm about to do. Ocean Hued Clan 4-piece is only going to work out for you on a DPS Barb, so let's avoid that for my support Barb here. Let's see what we have. Okay, so how about for the before? We leave these unleveled and then we level them as part of the after. That seems like it's fun, slash I don't want to level those right now because that's going to be a big hit to my Mora. So here's where we're sitting right now with Barb, 15,037 HP. That's not a lot. That's not great. But obviously with all the artifacts being level 0, we are going to get a lot of extra HP when we actually level them. So I think this is going to be a fun little before. All right, let's talk teams. Barbara, obviously as a support with her healing capabilities, is a really flexible character. You could slot her in just about a team comp where you need a healer. I'm going to show you a few teams that I'm excited about, including a few of the ones that I'm going to try out today. All right. Hear me the heck out. Picture this. Hyperbloom team, Zhongli acting as our shield so the blooms don't absolutely devour us. Nahida for the Dendro reactions, Barbara to apply the Hydro, and then Raiden on an EM build to proc the Hyperbloom. So in case you didn't know, when you're doing a Hyperbloom, the reaction only takes into account the EM of the Electro character that triggered the Hyperbloom. So Barbara can stay on a normal support build here, and Raiden Shogun would be the one on an EM build. I've seen EM Raiden, I've never tried it myself, so I really want to bust out this team today. So you're using normal normal attacks with Barbara on the field, getting the reaction with Shogun and Nahida off the field, and Zhongli there for a little added shield support. I could see this working with actually an animal character too. I might try that instead. So this is my first idea. We'll see how that goes, but here are a few other options first. All right, here it is, a freeze team. You know I don't like freeze. I have no intention of running this team. Of course, Barbara being a hydro unit is possible in a freeze team. Like I said, she's a slow hydro applier, so you might want someone else to do some hydro with her, like Xingqiu or Yelan, in order to keep the enemies frozen for longer. But this is an option. I'm just throwing it out there. Now let me tell you about this little team. A good old Tazer Comp. What about this? I know I like Tazer Comps because I've used them before. Barbara's role in this team would be strictly support, mostly off field, while Tartego's Beidou and Fischl do all those electro charge reactions. Of course, the only problem with this team is I've yet to revisit Fischl, so she's kind of built like trash. I'm waiting for C6 Fischl in case you're wondering. I'm really excited about revisiting her. I need that C6 first. I just need it. So someday, but not today. All right, so don't mind the Yunjin here. What she represents is Nilou. I just chose her because she also is kind of a dancer. I don't know. But basically what I'm trying to show you here is a Nilou Bloom team. So if you want to run a Nilou Bloom team, but you don't have Kokomi, Barbara's a good option to slot in there instead. She fills a similar role, but is free to play friendly. What about this? I don't know. Why not? Why not this? You gonna tell me I can't do this? Why the heck can't I do this? I don't know. I'm honestly just picking and choosing random teams now at this point. These are just some of the team ideas I'm coming up with in my little brain, but there are so many more. I'm actually going to keep the weird Razor team for now just to do some before testing, just because this is a very standard Barb placement in my mind, like full HP, full support, full heals. That's the role she's going to play in this team on and off the field pretty quickly. So let's give it a go. Hey, you know what I just realized? 3 of the characters in the team are revisiting characters. Like, only Kazuha is not a revisiting character. Look at me, building new teams, using new people, learning, enjoying, experiencing life. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get beat the heck up, okay? I'm gonna take some damage. Wow, really, Masanori? The one time I want it? Oh my, it's just so embarrassing for you. Okay, hit me. Okay, good. Nice, big chunk. All right, so let's do a single E and just see how much we tick for. 2,280. Actually, you know, considering Barbara has a pretty low max HP right now, that's not bad. Let's see what we do with this. Okay, going up actually a pretty substantial amount for how low her HP is right now. Let's do a whole rotation just to see. Let's stay alive and see what the heck happens. We can freeze him a little. That's pretty nice. Let's actually swirl the Hydro so that we could do a little cryo with Rosa, and then we can get into a Razor skill and do a little bit of a superconduct situation. Oh, okay, electro charge coming in there, nice. Yeah, not bad. And of course, with Barbara's skill around my Razor, he's healing every so often, so we're not close to death, which is nice. No one likes to be close to death, except for Zhao, but that's unrelated. Obviously, what I'm noticing right off the bat with this team in particular, energy. We're having energy issues. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see it and I can feel it, and it's not great. Okay, so obviously damage-wise, not impressive, but healing-wise, very impressive. That's one of the great things about Barbara, is you could slot her in a team with very low investment, as she is for me right now, and she still is going to keep you healed. Those are just my thoughts on the heals with running this team. Obviously, as a whole team, the rotation's not smooth, the energy's not there, but we were looking at the heals and I'm impressed. So let's do a little after build, shall we? Okay, so I've pre-farmed almost everything to level Barbara to level 90 and get her talents to 699. Wait, you know what I just realized? I farmed way too much of this. Oh no, I thought I'd descend her from 70, but she was already 70 ascended, wasn't she? Oh, no, I got 12 extra ocean and things. No, what a waste. I think I've leveled everyone who needs those. That's a shame. It's fine. I'm not hurt about it. Okay, level 90, perfect. Let's take a look at those talents. 7, 8, and 9. Good. Okay. All right, I know I said I'd level her to 699. Considering I wasted all that resin on the ocean, and we might as well try to skimp out on the talents a little bit. Sorry, Barbara. Here we are, 399 talents and level 90. Now, let's become more poor and work on the artifacts. All right, but here we go. Everything's leveled. 31,647 HP. So we straight up more than doubled it, huh? Here's the Barb. Now, let's go see how much she heals for. Let's just see how much a single skill ticks for now. 5,835. Nice. We were doing like 2,000 before, so that's really nice. Oh no, know what I just realized? We never used a burst the first time. Oops. All right, let's check it out here. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh wow. Really, really fast. Whoa! So even while doing that, we're gonna have Barb on the field for a pretty minimal amount of time, considering how much she just healed for right there. Okay, so let me get her a little more so that we can test the burst. Okay, let's see. So yeah, fully healed. I mean, I don't know what I expected. Now the good thing with Razor actually and Barbara is that I'm close enough to the enemy that they're getting wet and I'm still triggering, as you can see, some electro charge. So that's actually pretty good. Ooh, my Razor pretty chonky, huh? Nice, and we're fully healed. Look at that. Okay, so obviously the heals have gotten chonkier. What can I say? I'm not surprised based on how much our HP went up. What I am a little surprised about is how quickly Barbara heals with those normal attacks. Like I said, it's been a while since I ran Barbara, and when I did run Barbara, surely my build was terrible. So my memory of her heals are weaker, obviously. So that was impressive. Now, let's switch up the team a little. All right, so I'm going to take all of Kuki Shinobu's artifacts, partially because it'll be easy for me to remember who has Raiden's artifacts, and partially because she is fully EM built. So about 894 EM. I bet if the weapon was leveled fully, we'd be sitting closer to like 1000 EM like I do with Kuki. So let's try it out. Now, I'm not going to try this on Masanori because Hyperbloom is the most fun against a bunch of enemies. So let's go to Abyss and see what we can do in Abyss. Okay, so I wanted to try Zhongli in his team so that we could be shielded from all the cores we're going to take, but he's being taken up by the Mono Geo team. So I'm going to try that Animo thing I was thinking of. I wanted to try this anyway, so we'll see how like Kazuha does. All right, so let me think about rotation here. How about I wing it? I guess we should trigger the Shogun first, and maybe we suck everyone up, do a little Kazu stuff, do a little Nahida stuff, and then we go in with Barb, maybe? Oh my gosh. Okay, we do get frozen. That's not great. That's one of the downsides of having that stuff there, but like, whoa! Hold on! Hang on! Hang on! Hang on, hang on, hang on. That was very fast. Okay, let's do Kazuha, Nahida skill, Shogun skill, and then let's like trigger it with Barb. I'm pretty impressed, honestly. Okay, let's just get rid of this guy because he's got that shield. Hello, this is Disembodied Voice Meej coming to you about a week after filming the Barbara video. So I've been trying out Barbara in a variety of Hyperbloom teams, including bringing Beto and Kuki on her standard EM build. This then branched me out into trying the team you're seeing right now, which is not a Hyperbloom team because, in case you didn't know, Beto's ult can't trigger any of those Dendro cores because it locks on the enemy, does not do AoE stuff, but it's really, really fun and strong, and I don't know, I just really enjoyed it, so I wanted to show you that as an option as well. I could also try bringing Beto along with an EM Shogun. That way your Shogun can be the one triggering some Hyperblooms. It's of course not as strong as my go-to Hyperbloom team, They'll Hate Them team that just rips everything to shreds, but it's a fun little alternative just to switch it up because there's so many characters, why not have fun with them? Anyway, just wanted to pop in real quick and show you some variations on this team that I've been enjoying. Alright, let's try a little Tazer Comp team. We're just gonna try the first floor, and like I mentioned before, my Fischl is not the best, so alright, let's put Fischl out on the field. Let's get Barb just for the heals and advanced, and let's get some Beto and some Tartiggles going. I do like Tazer Comps, they're pretty fun. Seeing all those numbers bounce around, but I think it'd be a lot stronger if my Fischl was built properly. Nice. Really nice, yeah. Okay, and then we could switch to something like Barb really quick for those heals that we need, just like that. Oh, so that was just a quick little taste on that floor in there. I wouldn't bring it into Abyss to clear per se, but if I want to have fun, then of course, Tazer Comps are so fun. So that's pretty nice for Barb too. She fits pretty well there as a support, so that's nice. All right, so quick final thoughts on Barbara after my initial raising and playing around with her a little bit in a few different comps. I'm more impressed than I thought I'd be. Obviously the pros of Barbara is that she heals in every sense of her kit with the skill, the auto attacks, the burst, like you're gonna get healing in so many different ways. And of course, because she can heal with her skill, you don't need to have energy for the burst every rotation. In addition to that, she's really, really accessible. Everyone gets a free copy of Barb early on in the game. She's easy to build as a support. And of course, that revival ability at C6 is another big, big pro. On more of the cons end, sadly, she will never be as tall as her sister. You hate to see it. She's also a very slow hydro applier and not the most consistent of hydro appliers. Like you'd have to have her on field doing those auto attacks to apply hydro to the enemy unless they were pressed up really close against you, getting wet by the skill. Also, since we're mentioning the skill, it applies wet status to you, and as you saw a few times throughout the testing, that can open you up to being frozen, which is just kind of annoying. And finally, I'd say her personal damage ceiling is pretty low at a low investment. Like I said, you could build DPS Barb and get more damage, but it's not really easy to build into. Like, that's not really what she's slated to do. But that being said, she does what she does well. And what she does well is heal. What more could you ask for, really? So that's gonna do it for today's revisiting. Let me know how you use your Barbara, what team comps you run her in. Do you have that crazy DPS Barb? Let me know. Like I said, I'm impressed with what she can do. Now I have another healer, and if I need to, I can slot her into team comps I might need her in. You never know when that's gonna pop up. I think it is a good idea to have healers of different elements anyway, so now I got a Hydra one, I guess. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. Don't forget to join me live, twitch.tv/Meejin. You can see me whip up my Barb in real time. She sings you a song, she has a little dance. It's great. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye! The one time I'm wanting HP and it goes into crit damage. Why? Why? What is happening right now with the Barbara? What? What is this? Okay, finally. All done. What is with the crit damage on these ones? What the heck? What the heck? What the heck is that? Why? How did that happen?